Indians 1, Astros nothing as we go to the bottom of the fifth. It will be Bogusevic, Johnson, and Castro here against Jenmar Gomez, who has retired all 12 Astros he's faced. Couple of strikeouts. He'll look at Bogusevic, who flied out to rather deep left center his only time in. One of the better struck balls here this afternoon, but it was tracked down by Johnny Damon. Damon had a big hug for Mills yesterday before the game. You could imagine they have some history together. And Bogusevic swings and drives one to right center field. This ball's down for a base hit. The first Astros hit. And extra bases. Bogusevic will head to second and stop there. So Brian in the cleanup spot today. Had a good swing earlier, but this time rips a double to right center. The first Astros base runner here this afternoon.
Well, I'm glad I was on record an inning earlier. I didn't think this guy had that kind of stuff. I mean, he's pitched awfully well, but now here you are after that base hit. You're one single away from this being a tie game again.
Absolutely, and it'll be Chris Johnson who struck out looking his only time in. We talked yesterday about mid-game, about some of the offensive struggles, mostly centering around strikeouts, because we were watching Ubaldo Jimenez throw a lot of changeups and throw breaking pitches, stay away as best he could from throwing fastballs, whether in fastball counts or at all. Now, you had him on the postgame show. I thought he was very forthcoming, offered up a lot, and he basically implied that was the scouting report they wanted to put in.
Yeah, no, he was pretty clear about that. Throw these guys a lot of off-speed stuff.
So now with the man in scoring position, here's Johnson. He tries to bunt, bunts one off his foot in the batter's box, right back to the mound. That's a foul ball on strike one.
Not a surprise, though, either, was it? I mean, we've been noticing the same thing. I mean, that's an effective way, usually, to combat a young, aggressive team. And the Astros, they started the year like gangbusters offensively, and they've been swinging aggressively all year, and lately they've had to make some adjustments.
So with the count 0-1, let's see what Gomez wants to do. Right in there, ready in the pitch, and Johnson rips one down the left field line. That ball's fair. It's into the corner. It'll tie the game as Bogusevic comes plateward. Johnson in at second. Back-to-back doubles. It's a 1-1 game in the fifth inning. RBI number 28 for Chris.
Got a fastball. And these guys, whether Chris Johnson, Jose Altuve, J.D. Martinez, I don't know, go down the list. That's what they're looking for. That's what they want. That fastball may be left a little bit up, and it doesn't matter what struggles hitters have been going through. If they get a pitch like that, a pitch that they're looking for and want to hit, well, they're going to hit it. And Johnson smashed that ball.
So now let's see if Castro can knock in CJ and put the club ahead. It has been a long time since they've had a lead. Castro bounced to short. Back in the second. And the pitch to Jason is hooked in the air. Down the left field line. Foul territory. Pursuing is Damon. It'll bounce on the track and hop up into the seats. Club didn't score yesterday. They didn't have a lead back on Wednesday. They were shut out on Tuesday. So the last time they had a lead is on Monday night when they finished off the 9-7 game, and they had to do so by watching the Royals score 5 times in the ninth and load the bases. And you mentioned it before. The one thing this club has done this year, above all else, is play good baseball at home. So to go through a skid list long where you haven't had a lead has been more than frustrating. But they've tied the game here in the fifth. It's 0-1 to Jason Castro on the pitch from Gomez, and he drops one downstairs that misses.
Of course, you know, fans know it's tough to score runs here in the Astrodome. Always has been. Oh, wait a minute. Just feels like that. You know, the Flashback Friday, we had the Rainbow Unis.
Joe Morgan.
Yeah.
Here's a 1-1. Castro watches ball 2, drop down and in.
I was asking Brad Mills about it today. The same thing we were just talking about. I told him, I said, you know, Ubaldo told me last night after the game that the scouting report is pretty clear. Throw you guys soft stuff. And you know, your hitters will be a little aggressive, and they'll probably get themselves out. And, you know, and he acknowledged that that's a little bit of a problem, and they've just got to learn to be more patient. Go back to the way they were in that first month of the season.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Castro. He gets a fastball and he sprays it foul third base side into the second level of seats.
You know, if you can work the count to your advantage, you can force a pitcher to give you that pitch you want. You can get him into a fastball count. Now, the good pitchers, the really good ones, are able to throw that fastball then just so it's close enough you'll want to attack it, but you probably won't be able to do much with it. And I thought that's what Jimenez did really well yesterday.
Yeah, he had a pretty good stretch going despite the fact he only went 6 2/3. Count's going to 2-2 to Castro on the pitch way inside, a little bit low. Of course, Jimenez's numbers now in this ballpark are really off the charts. 4-0 lifetime, going back to when he was a Rocky. Gomez pitching here for the very first time. He was leading 1-0. He's given up back-to-back doubles here in the bottom of the fifth. Still nobody out, and the count has gone as far as it'll go to Castro, with Martinez waiting on deck. This will be the 50th pitch today from Gomez. Here it is, and there's a ball hit in the air in left center field. Back goes Brantley underneath it. He'll be able to make the catch and will. Johnson's going to tag. Now he'll stop as the throw comes in to Cabrera, and it bounced into the cutoff man, but Castro is retired for the first out, and it brings up J.D. Martinez.
Again, waited it out until he got a fastball he could handle, and he just missed hitting that one to a really deep part of the park. Just got underneath it a touch.
Martinez had a little tapper over the mound fielded by Gomez, and he was able to flip to first to retire J.D. his only time in. J.D. has hit 2 home runs here in the month of June. And he gets a pitch for a strike at the knees outside corner. Well placed. That's a pitch that Martinez can't do much with other than maybe flick it to right. Earlier this homestand, J.D. was out there working with Mike Barnett, hitting off the tee from home plate before the game, trying to pound balls to right center. And the pitch here is down and out. Then it was, I think, that night where he got a couple of pitches on the inside corner, able to react and rip them to left for extra bases. But that approach always remains right center and then build off that. Well, a couple of times in the sequence, Gomez has pitched him outside, but the count is 1-1. Base hit could put the club ahead. And a pitch to J.D. and that again is down and out. It misses. 2 balls and a strike. Jordan Schaefer batting 8th here this afternoon. Waits on deck. Astros 1, Indians 1. Home half of the 5th. It's a 2-1 count to Martinez. Gomez set. Here's his pitch, and there's a ball hit high in the air, deep left field. It's going to go. Goodbye off the top of the bricks behind the Crawford boxes. 8th home run of the season for J.D. Martinez, and the Astros lead 3-1.
Want to take a guess at what pitch that was? Fastball. And J.D. Martinez didn't miss it. So, second time through the order, the Astros have put themselves in some fastball hitters counts. They've gotten that pitch, and maybe more importantly, they've squared it up. Hit it very well. That ball really touched off by J.D. Martinez.
Hit off the bricks and then landed back on the field. And here is Jordan Schaefer. He drives one to left field. Back goes Damon. He turns around, looks up. That's in the Crawford boxes and gone again. Schaefer with an opposite field home run. Back to back with J.D. Martinez. And it's 4-1 Houston.
Fastball. And Schaefer, give him credit. He's probably up there thinking this guy's getting a little frustrated. Feels like he's got to jump ahead of somebody in the 8th spot in the order. I'll ambush him. If he gives me fastball, I'm going to attack it, and he did. This is uncanny.
Second back-to-back set of home runs this season. It happened earlier this year, the home opener, 4th inning, Lee and Bogusevic against Colorado. Some more gift cards for the fans out there in the Landry's Crawford boxes who caught that home run or had it catch them. Here is Dallas Keuchel. He's batted 1 time in the majors and struck out. He'll take one down and in for a ball. 350 feet on that home run. Stanley Tools tail of the tape. I'm assuming that's the Schaefer home run. JD might have got a little more, and Keuchel takes one down for a ball, 2-0. Back-to-back home runs from the 7 and 8 hitters here in the bottom of the 5th. And the 2-0 pitch, Keuchel takes one at the knees for a strike. Remember, we came into this inning, it was 1-0 Cleveland. Genmar Gomez had retired all 12 Astros hitters. Well, now they've scored 4 runs this inning. And Keuchel swings and taps one up the first base side, going foul. And from a perfect game possibility to activity going in the Cleveland pen, things have changed for Genmar Gomez and the Tribe.
It's also 10 home runs he's given up this year now.
Here's a 2-2 to Keuchel, trying to finish him off, and there's a tapper back to the mound, fielded by Gomez in the dirt portion of the hill. His lob to first is low, but Lopez scoops it and steps on the bag, and Dallas retired. There's 2 outs.
For all the talk this inning that you and I have engaged in with regard to fastball versus breaking balls and changeups, and the Astros have absolutely attacked his fastball this inning. The one thing that, you know, some pitchers can get away with the fastball in those counts when they have great ones. Right? There's some great fastball pitchers. Gomez, we've seen him, like 91, 88 to 91?
That's right. Here's Altuve takes one for a strike outside corner.
I mean, that's not the kind of fastball that you're going to be able to sneak by guys that often, no matter how good your off-speed stuff is.
Club, to their credit, they made him pay here in the 5th inning. Like to get Altuve going again. He rolls one deep into the hole. Backhanded by Cabrera. Has to hurry. Bobbles it. Lost it. Altuve's safe. Should be an infield hit. It is his 87th of the season. Well, Altuve, you know, this guy goes, say, 0 for 5, 0 for 6. You get worried. He had been 0 for 6, 1 for his last 10. Actually, more than that, something like 1 for his last 14. But hit one in the hole. Cabrera knew he had to hurry and could not field it cleanly.
I think you said just before that pitch, you'd like to see him get going again. I think he is a real key to this offense. He doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs, but he gets on, he creates a distraction on the base paths, keeps the line moving. And I think it's critical for this Astros team to have Altuve on base and on base with base hits.
This might be a decent possibility to run. He's stolen 12 bases, now working with the lead for the first time since Monday. And Jed Lowry, the batter, he's flying to right, popped to third. There goes Altuve. The pitch is outside. The throw down is in time. It looked like Altuve was in there. Well, he was running. The Cabrera made the tag on the throw from Santana.
I think they anticipated it. The fastball was outside, really setting up a good opportunity for Santana.
Astros get 4, but the inning ends on an Altuve caught stealing. We head to the 6th. It's now 4-1 Astros.